Many years ago, in a remote village nestled in the hills of Uttarakhand, there was a girl named Tara. She was a bright and lively child, always laughing, playing, and running through the narrow paths of the village with her best friend. However, what seemed like an innocent childhood was tainted by the darkness that lurked within her home. Tara lived with her parents, her younger siblings, and her grandmother. While the family appeared normal to outsiders, the reality was far from it. Her mother and grandmother were always at odds, their daily fights echoing through the small house. The tension in the household was unbearable, but Tara never spoke of it. She simply endured it, seeking comfort in the fields, the forests, and the company of her best friend. One night, after an especially vicious argument between her mother and grandmother, Tara's grandmother packed her things and left the house. No one knew where she had gone. Devastated, Tara wandered the village, searching for her. She called out into the dense forests, hoping for a response, but only silence greeted her. Hours later, her grandmother returned, safe and sound, but Tara never did. As the family celebrated the grandmother's return, they realized that Tara was missing. They searched every corner of the village, called out her name, and knocked on every door, but she was nowhere to be found. Then, one of her younger siblings remembered a place Tara often went when she was upset. It was a quiet spot near an old, twisted tree by the river. The villagers rushed there, only to find a horrifying sight. Tara's lifeless body dangled from the tree, a noose made from rope tied tightly around her neck. Her face was frozen in anguish, her small feet swaying in the cold wind. She had taken her own life, unable to bear the turmoil in her home. The news spread like wildfire, and the village was plunged into grief. But amidst the mourning, one person did not shed a single tear: Tara's mother. She remained cold and detached, merely telling the grandmother to go retrieve her body if she wanted. The villagers were shocked. How could a mother be so heartless? Days passed, and Tara was given a proper funeral, but her soul did not rest. Soon after, whispers filled the village. Children playing outside at dusk would hear a faint voice calling them, asking them to play. When they turned, they would see the shadow of a girl watching them from a distance, only to vanish seconds later. At night, the eerie sound of footsteps echoed through the village, followed by soft sobbing. Some claimed to hear a faint whisper, "Why didn't you save me? Why did you leave me?" The most terrifying incident occurred when villagers began seeing Tara's apparition. She would appear outside their homes, her form barely visible in the dim moonlight. The most chilling part was her feet, hovering slightly above the ground, never touching it. Fear gripped the village. Many refused to step outside after sundown. Children were forbidden from playing near the tree where Tara had died. But the hauntings only grew stronger. One night, as the villagers huddled inside their homes, they heard a strange rhythmic sound outside. It was the distinct slapping of rubber sandals against the ground, a sound they all recognized. Tara had always worn a pair of gray rubber sandals, and her footsteps had always made that exact noise. The sound grew louder, moving from house to house. Then came the knock on the doors, a gentle but persistent tapping, followed by the whisper, "Why didn't you save me?" No one dared to open their doors. The village elders knew something had to be done. They sought out priests and shamans, desperate for a way to put Tara's soul to rest. A ceremony was planned, a great ritual meant to cleanse the village, still.